Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is Karim Serageldin answering your questions on About Islam. So, sister submitted a question discussing her concerns for her husband watching pornography. Now, the sister claims that her husband is a good man, he's a good husband, he's a good Muslim, but you have caught him watching pornography a few times, and of course it's killing you inside. And every time you confront him about it and ask him to stop, he gets angry and upset and continues to do it. Then you continue to say, sister, that this is causing you to lose faith in your husband and in Islam, and it's really messing with you spiritually and relationally. The first thing I want to address is it's very important for us psychologically to separate Islam as a tradition and a Muslim or Muslims. We have to remember, sister, that we are human first and foremost, and our Islam is a reflection of how human we are. So the quality of my Muslimness, if you will, is also a reflection of my humanity. So you can't necessarily blame Islam or lose faith in Islam simply because your husband is struggling with a sin. Okay, all human beings are going to make mistakes. We're all going to sin to some degree or in variation of those sins. And this is not the same thing as saying that, there's a problem with Islam. No, he's just a human being and he's struggling with something. And this happens to be his struggle. So that's the first thing, is it's very important for us not to conflate, Muslim practice with the Islamic tradition. Humans are Muslims and Muslims are humans, and because humans are flawed, so will Muslims. And this idea that if you follow Islam and you're going to be this perfect human being inside and out, and you're never going to make mistakes or struggle with sins, even major ones, this is a false principle, and it's unlikely going to be true. And that's the first thing that I would like to clarify for you. Secondly, unfortunately, pornography addiction is widespread. And it is not uncommon for individuals in our times to have an addiction to pornography. And it sounds like maybe your husband is one of them. Now, it's not that simple to just ask him to stop and he will stop. One of the things that is important to realize is many people who view pornography, it's not always about, lust. Sometimes it's about an emotional void that they want to fill, or any other type of fulfillment that they feel is lacking in their lives, so they want to fulfill it through pornography. And sometimes it's not because they think they have a bad wife or an unattractive wife. If your husband, let's say, has low self-esteem, or isn't successful in his career, or is very anxious about life in general, and he uses pornography as a way to numb the pain or escape his reality. Because in the world of pornography, the individual has full control over the pleasure and what they can do and see and enjoy, and they can do it as much as they want whenever they want. And this is a very difficult addiction because it's so easy to access. Unlike, certain drugs or alcohol, it becomes more apparent when you're actually addicted to these things versus watching something on a screen. Now, obviously, there can be many variables for why your husband is watching pornography, and he likely will need to explore that in order to know why he's using it as a crutch. And my recommendation is there is a organization that specializes in anonymous Muslim sexual addiction program, and it's called purifyyourgaze.com. I would strongly encourage that you share this with your husband and have him sign up to get the support that he needs. This organization specializes in courses and group forums and discussions and getting even counseling support to work through this addiction and this journey. And there are many people who have done it and have come out of it successful. So that would be my main advice, is to share this website with him. And for you, sister, to remember that, conflating Islam with the Muslim sins isn't necessarily healthy or sound, because again, all Muslims are humans and all humans are flawed. Secondly, if there is anything that your husband needs from you as far as overcoming this challenge, try to offer that support. And of course, when you are visibly angry or upset with him, and he doesn't know how to work through this addiction because it's a very difficult one to get over, he's likely going to be angry and defensive with you too. And you also mentioned in your submission that why is it that a Muslim man can do whatever he wants and the woman is supposed to be just some nice quiet wife? That's not true. Your husband is committing a sin, and frequently, it sounds like. And so that doesn't make him any more special or less responsible for overcoming this challenge. It doesn't matter what gender you are. The rules of Islam apply to everybody. So this isn't also a balanced perspective to have. And you should not necessarily feel guilty that you're upset with him or that you are considering losing connection and emotional ties with him. That's, again, a very natural response to somebody who's observing their husband going through such a difficult challenge. But you have to recognize that it is an addiction, just like any other drug, and anybody who's addicted to something has to go through a healing process. And it's not as simple as just let him stop or let him just keep praying. Because, like I said, there's likely deeper emotional and psychological reasons for pornography being used. Okay, so unfortunately, I can't give you all the guidance and techniques for that because I don't know your husband's background story. I don't know much about your background with him. However, I would strongly encourage that the next step to take is to have him sign up for Purify Your Gaze program, and inshallah, with time and effort and patience, he will be able to overcome this if he truly wants. Jazakallah khair, and I hope that was helpful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.